So class, now continuing with k-means only, and now we are trying to update the centroids, right? So now from a simple example, you can see that, so in this particular case, we have two clusters, right? So let me just draw a bigger graph. Fine. And let me change the pen color to red. So this is centroid 1 and this is centroid 2. And assume that we have converged. We know that, okay, these are the ideal centroids that we want for both the clusters. Okay. So now, as a mathematical expression, what we are trying to achieve, right? So initially we started with some random cluster points C1 and C2, and slowly we moved our trajectory and came to this particular point. So in k-means, what we are trying to achieve is that, right? So we are trying to minimize. So you are computing, as I said, two distances. So let me first write the expression here. Okay, so this is our minimize. So I will write this as E, right? E is the error, right? So now just try to understand what we are trying to do here. So we have two summation signs, right? Ck is basically, k is the total number of clusters, right? And C basically represents the centroid. So for every centroid that we have, right? For every centroid that we have, so in this particular case, we have two centroids, C1 and C2. So compute the distances of all the points belonging to that particular cluster and try to compute the distance. So for example, if I take this cluster C2, I will compute the distance of this centroid, the distance from this to this point, and the distance from this to this particular point, right? And this I will repeat for all the clusters that we have, for all the clusters, right? And this distance should be minimum, right? So there is some intuition that you require. So basically, if you see, if this centroid is a good centroid, the distances of all the points that are there in this clusters will be minimized. Again, if this is a good centroid, then the distance from this particular centroid to this particular, all the points in this particular cluster will be minimized, right? So a case will arise when this particular E value will not further decrease, right? So that means we will reach a point where we have converged, right? So this basically gives us that particular expression, right? So given a particular centroid, you take that centroid, and now for all the points belonging to that cluster, we compute the distance, and that we do for over all the clusters, and then take a summation. And once we have the minimized sum, that means our clusters are formed, right? So we actually see an example in order to have more intuition, because in terms of mathematics sometimes it is not much clear. So now the question is when to stop, right? Because let's say you have such a case. This is called the butterfly effect. So if you can see, I can actually have a cluster like this, or I can have a cluster like this, right, forms a butterfly. This is C1 and this is C2. So in this case, what happens in K means in one of the loop, it will try to keep this point in cluster 1. In the next loop, it will try to keep this point in the another loop, right? So this point will keep on oscillating between cluster 1 and cluster 2, right? So it may result in an infinite execution. So when to stop? First, after n iterations, right? So you can say key, okay, n equal to 12. So after I will stop after 12 iterations. Next, another option is when the centers don't change anymore, right? So for example, in this particular cluster at the 14th iteration, C1 had 12 points arbitrarily and C2 had 6 points. After 15th iteration, you see that C1 has the same 12 points and C2 has the same 6 points. So in that case, you know that the points remain the same, right? So you no longer take the execution forward. And the third case is when the centroid does not change anymore. So let's say you came to this particular point C1, right? So C1 will have a coordinate x1, y1 and C2 will have a coordinate x2, y2. As we see, we compute the distances and then update it. So at one particular point, if the previous centroid coordinates are same as the next centroid coordinates, that means a centroid is no longer moving. So at that point, you can stop the process. Right, class? So that's it for this lecture. We see you in the next class.